Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Monday, May 26th. We're looking at a warm and mostly dry week ahead, outside of some daily showers and storms possible through Thursday. And I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. Again, if you like the weather we had yesterday, we got plenty more of that coming up for this upcoming week. Highs in the 70s and 80s, warming up to the 80s and 90s as we finish out the week. But other than that, shower and thunderstorm chances are expected to continue through Thursday, primarily each afternoon and evening, mostly confined to the mountains. But outside of that, conditions are expected to remain mostly dry, fairly quiet and tranquil stretch of weather here coming up. Turning dry for Friday and Saturday as that warmest temperatures of the week build in, and maybe looking at a pattern change as we head into Sunday into early Monday of next week. So we're kind of looking at that for some cooler temperatures, maybe some more robust precipitation chances. Still a ways out, but we'll be keeping an eye on that for you over the coming days. And taking a look at satellite imagery for you this morning, mostly clear skies to start off the day, increasing clouds building in out of the west as a trough works through the Pacific Northwest, expecting an increase in cloud cover later today, some isolated showers and thunderstorms, primarily in the mountains. And a look at the bigger picture for you wise. So there's that moisture building in through Washington and Oregon this morning. It's going to reach our area later today. And as this moisture is going to be working up and over a very broad ridge of high pressure, that'll keep those shower and thunderstorm chances in the area for much of the work week. And your weather risk outlook for the next 5 days. Overall, there's a chance for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms all the way through Thursday, mostly in the mountains, but can't rule out some isolated activity, particularly across the upper Snake River Plain. But heading into Friday, it looks like dry conditions will return as we finish out the work week and head into Saturday. And temperatures out there for you today. Another beautiful day above normal temperatures in those 70s to low to mid 80s. And thunderstorm chances for you today. We're looking at two main corridors of activity, one up into the central mountains, think up towards Custer, Lemhi, and along the Montana border region, and another down towards the South Hills along the Nevada, Idaho, Utah border region. That's where we're expecting the best activity. Again, mostly confined to the mountains, but can't rule out some isolated activity across our lowest elevations, and breaking down some of the probabilities of those thunderstorms for you. So getting you to noon, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock here. Overall, you can see where those kind of best corridors are setting up. One into the southeast highlands, another up along the Montana border region into the central mountains. Those will continue through this evening, but as you can see, not a whole lot of activity is expected across our lowest elevations, just mainly some isolated stuff, potentially continuing into this evening up across the upper Snake Plain into the eastern highlands. And looking at what one model's particularly take on the timing of that as well, just showing you the evolution of that. We'll see most of this convective initiation between about 12 and 3 o'clock, expecting those showers, storm track generally to be southwest to northeast. But overall, not seeing a whole lot of activity across our lowest elevations on this model. Maybe just some isolated activity in the mountains. Certainly not a washout by any means. But dry conditions return back for tonight. Another round of some isolated activity for Tuesday, particularly up in the eastern central mountains and further east across our area. But other than that, maybe some isolated activity up towards the eastern highlands heading into later in the day Tuesday, but dry conditions will return again as we head into Tuesday night. And for your Tuesday, it'll be a mild morning, 30s, 40s, and 50s across the board. Afternoon highs just a touch cooler with that Pacific trough, still hanging out in those 70s and 80s. And thunderstorm chances on Tuesday, kind of showed you that model timing there. Again, best chances will be focused further east, much drier conditions further west. And for your Wednesday, you guessed it, more mild conditions, 30s, 40s, and 50s to start off your Wednesday. Afternoon highs in the 70s, 80s to low 90s. And for Wednesday, just keeping around the slight chance, generally 10 to 20%, mostly in the mountains for thunderstorms on your Wednesday afternoon. And for Thursday, we'll keep that warming trend going as conditions start to dry out, finishing out the work week. Lows still in those 40s and 50s, highs now in the 70s, 80s to mid to upper 90s. And for your Thursday, again, just keep it with, again, that 10 to 20% chance generally of some showers and thunderstorm activity for Thursday. Looking to dry things out for Friday. And speaking of Friday, still looking rather warm in our area, 40s, 50s in the morning, afternoon highs 70s, 80s, and 90s. And to look at your weekend ahead, overall, it's going to be a beautiful weekend out there. Very warm temperatures and mostly dry conditions. We'll be keeping an eye there on Sunday into Monday. Certainly very warm there, as you see in our forecast here. But temperatures could cool as much as 20 degrees heading into early next week, so Monday and Tuesday. Keeping an eye on a cold front and more moisture building in for that time frame. And that's reflected well in these outlooks I'll be showing you here. But with respect to temperatures, it's looking fairly surefire that we're going to have 6 to 10 day temperature outlooks favored well above normal here in the Gem State. And with respect to precipitation, here's that pattern change kind of talking about here. So trending from mostly dry conditions, some isolated activity, to potentially some more robust moisture building in out of the south. We'll see exactly how that evolves here over the coming days, heading into later this week into the following week. But early indications are showing some cooler and more unsettled conditions as we head into the early part of June. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have a safe and meaningful Memorial Day.